Hi friends, my name is Becky and today we are focusing on supporting the health of our low back. You might want to have 2 yoga blocks and a bolster handy if you've got those at home, or any alternative props like a cushion or a pillow. So feel free to press pause on this video while you go grab your props. And when you're ready, we're going to set up in a wide leg child's pose to begin, with a bolster or pillow underneath the chest. So placing your prop in between your thighs and then draping torso over the top, turning the head to face either to the left or right, doesn't matter which. Closing down the eyes and bringing your awareness to your breath. I invite you to take one or both of your hands to your low back, bringing awareness to this space. Deepening the breath, sending your inhales into the low back, feeling the movement in the hands, and exhale to release and soften. A lot of us experience some form of low back pain from time to time, and there's certain muscles that we can work with in our yoga practice to support our low back. We've got the Psoas, which you might know as the hip flexors, the quadratus lumborum or QL, which is on the back connecting pelvis to ribs. We've got the glutes, and we've got the multifidus, which is a stabilizer muscle attaching to the spine. Feel free to release your hands to either side of your bolster and turn your head to face the other way. When we experience weakness and tightness in these muscle groups, this can contribute to non-specific low back pain. So that's pain that isn't caused by a specific injury or condition. And as we move through today's class, we're going to bring attention to these specific areas and work to activate them and release them to help ease tightness and tension, as well as building strength. And on top of that, moving the spine in all of its ranges of motion to just overall support low back health. Alright, slowly make your way out of child's pose. Just take your prop off to one side and then come back down into your child's pose, releasing a little bit deeper, and then take the hands over to the right for a side stretch, just for a breath, and then slowly walk your hands over to the left, releasing head back down. Come back through center, and then lift up onto the knees, coming to kneel, sitting on the heels, interlacing hands, palms face forward, lift up the arms, take a big stretch, and then from here take some small side bends from side to side. Right, back to center. Release the arms back down. We'll take a twist from here. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, twisting the torso to the right, pausing a moment, and then lowering down the arms. Inhale, sitting up taller, and exhale, maybe twist a little bit deeper, twisting from the navel. Release, lift the arms back up, and then exhale, twisting over to the left. With every inhale, lengthening the spine, and then exhale, twisting deeper. Release. And from here, come to lie on your left side. So we've got our left forearm down, and really press through the forearm so the shoulder isn't sinking up towards the ear. And then from here, step your top leg in front of the bottom leg, placing your right hand into the thigh, dipping the right shoulder down and turning the gaze down towards the left forearm. Slowly lift on up, and we'll take that straight to the other side. So come to lie on your right side, on your right forearm, stacking the feet to begin, and then stepping your top leg in front of the bottom leg, Using the left hand to gently press the left knee away, and then dipping left shoulder, turning gaze down towards the forearm. I'm just finding a gentle release in the back. Slowly release and transition onto hands and knees, tabletop position, hips over knees, shoulders over wrists, and we'll flow through cat and cow. So inhaling to arch the spine, look forward, and exhale to round, pressing the mat away. Just flowing through a few rounds, moving in time of your own breath. Okay, and then from here we'll find cat-cow, but with changing the feet position. Knees are coming together, feet wide apart. Just drawing a little bit more awareness to the QL muscles in the back. Just notice how this change in position of the legs makes a difference to mobility and sensation in your back. Okay, coming back into table, separating the knees to about hips width. Finding a nice neutral spine, drawing low belly in, and we'll work on stabilizing the multifidus with bird dog. So reaching right leg back, left arm forward, reaching in opposite directions. Tummy is nice and engaged, really extending. Nice, and we'll find some crunches on exhale, drawing elbow to knee, and then inhale, reaching the arm and leg out again. So crunch on an exhale. Inhale to extend. 2 more rounds. Alright, and then lowering the arm, but keep your leg lifted, extending lots of energy out through that back foot. Coming up onto fingertips, drawing knee in towards the chest, and then stepping your right foot in between the hands. And we're coming up into a low lunge, and make this quite a short stance. So you want to have your hips stacking over the back knee. And we're drawing attention to our hip flexor here. So taking your hands to your hips, I want you to lengthen the tailbone down and lean back slightly, just to get to the point where you're feeling some activity in the hip flexor. This will look different in everybody. Okay, uprighting your spine, and we'll take a side bend, sweeping left arm up and over. Nice, release, taking hands to either side of the foot, and from here, lengthening your stance, maybe taking hold of blocks to either side of the feet, and we're extending our lunge, making it a bit deeper, sinking hips forward and down, shifting a little bit from left to right. Okay, so fun fact about the psoas, it's the only muscle in the body that connects the front to the back. Nice, from here, extending front leg, half splits, flexing right toes up towards the face, and folding forwards over that leg. Really think of drawing the right femur into the right hip socket, left hip gently draws forward, so we're leveling out the hips. Alright, rebending, coming back through table, and just shift the hips from side to side, just to shake it out, maybe taking a big circle in one direction and the other. Taking blocks to one side if you were using them, coming back into table, and we'll find our bird dog on the second side, so extending left leg out long, extending it, and reaching the right arm forward, so opposite arm and leg, reaching, nice strong core, draw that low belly in, and then from here we'll find our crunches on an exhale, drawing elbow to knee, and then as you inhale, extending arm and leg. Really crunch it in, sucking in the belly, lots of energy as you reach in opposite directions. Okay, I think this might be our last one. Re-extend, keep the leg lifted but lower the arms down, and come into your fingertips. Step your left leg in between the hands. We're coming into our short stance low lunge. So taking hands to hips, lengthen the tailbone down, and then gently lean back until you feel a stretch in the psoas. So making sure you've got your hip stacked over the back knee. Okay, uprighting your spine, sweeping right arm up and over for a side bend. And just notice the different sensation that you feel in the hip flexor with this side bend. Okay, uprighting the spine, lowering the hands, extending your stance, coming into a longer low lunge, allowing the hips to draw forward and down, really sinking down into the hips. Shift a little from side to side. Alright, and then extending front leg, coming into half splits. You can keep the spine quite upright or folding forward from the hips. So hinging from the hips in our forward fold. Gently drawing left femur into the left hip socket. And we'll release our half split, really bending, stepping back into a table and shifting hips from side to side, taking them in one direction and the other. And then taking your blocks off to the side. I've got a fairy little helper now, carrying to step up at the top of your mat into a forward fold, ragdoll, clasping hold of opposite elbows and gently swaying from side to side. Really allowing the spine to decompress over the thighs, so bending knees as much as you need to really allow belly to have connection. Right, slowly rolling up through the spine, coming into Tadasana. Nice, then from your Tadasana, palms face forward, finding anatomical neutral. We're going to work into the hip flexors a bit more. Shift your weight into the left foot, drawing right knee in towards the chest and just drawing it up as high as you can before extending the leg forward. This is everybody's absolute favourite. I do not enjoy this one. And we're just holding the leg up as high as we can and then lowering it back down. Nice. And we'll take that to the other side. So hugging the knee in. Oh, don't worry if you wobble and lose your balance, just come back up, squeezing the knee in as high as you can and then extending the leg and holding the leg up as high as you can. Toes can be flexed or pointed, doesn't matter, just as long as there's lots of energy, and a big smile always helps. Okay, release. From here, taking the feet wide, taking your hands to the low back, drawing the hips forward, lifting up the chest, sending ribs away from the hips for a little bit of a back bend. Upright your spine. And we'll find some rotations. So coming back into Tadasana and then gently twisting from side to side. Really allow the arms to be super loose, knees nice and soft. Nice, then coming back into Tadasana, palms face forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, runner's lunge. Find your balance in your runner's lunge. And then from here, when you're ready, lifting the arms up, coming into high lunge. Okay, we're going to challenge our balance and the hip flexors a little bit more from your high lunge. When you're ready, taking your hands to your hips. Finding a spot that's not moving in front of you. On an inhale, shift the weight into the front foot. Take a big step forward. Squeeze your left knee in towards the chest. And then exhale, step it back into your high lunge. And we'll repeat twice more. Inhale, step it forward. Squeeze left knee to chest. And then exhale, step it back. If you're wobbling, that's okay. One more time. And exhale, step it back. Reach the arms up overhead. Take a moment in your high lunge. Big breath in and a big breath out. Nice work. From here, lowering the hands down. We'll step back to plank and lower all the way to the belly. From here, hugging the elbows in towards each other, lift up into a baby cobra. And we'll hold our baby cobra for a couple of breaths. You might immediately notice the low back Begin to talk to you as you hold in your low cobra. This is one of the best things to strengthen the back. Lowering down and press into a downward facing dog. So this is our first foray into downward dog. It's quite late into class to only just be making it into down dog, so feel free to take any movements that feel good here. Or if you feel nice and warm and happy to be still in your down dog. Bending knees, looking forward on an inhale, stepping up to halfway lift. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach up overhead. Then exhale, Tadasana. And we're going to repeat the second side. So inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping the right foot back this time, finding your balance in your runner's lunge. And when you're ready, lifting up into high lunge, arms reach overhead. All right, remember our balance challenge. Let's see if balance is any easier or harder on the second side. So taking your hands to your hips. And we'll begin on an inhale, stepping up, squeezing right knee into the chest. And exhale, stepping back all the way into high lunge. And again, twice more. Nice, really concentrate, use your breath to help you. And step it back, nice. From here, coming back through high lunge, lifting up the arms, taking a deep breath in, and a deep breath out, lower the arms, runner's lunge, step it back to plank, and lower all the way down to your belly. We'll lift up into baby cobra again, maybe this time lifting hands off the mat, really testing the strength of your low back. Just notice the quality of your breath, make sure you're breathing, and lower back down, pressing back into downward facing dog. Alright, from down dog, bending the knees to prepare, look forward, step or float to the top of the mat, coming into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep up overhead. And exhale, hands through prayer, Tadasana. Alright, from here, reaching the arms up and overhead, we'll take a big side bend over to the right, catching hold of left wrist. Come back through center and take it to the other side. Back to center, lower the arms down. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back to plank and lower all the way to the belly. Nice. From here, another great back strengthener, locust arm reaches. So you're gonna lie on your belly, reaching the arms forward. I don't have a lot of space here, so this is why I'm just wiggling around and shuffling. And we're gonna extend opposite arm and leg. On your next inhale, reach your left leg, right arm in opposite directions, and then exhale, lower. Switch sides, inhale, right leg, left arm, and exhale, lower. And just repeat switching sides. The slower you make your breath, the more challenging this becomes, and it really doesn't take long to really start feeling this in the back. Really feel as though you're reaching in opposite directions as much as you can. Making this your last round. And then when you've finished, have a little rest. You can make a pillow for the head with the hands. And just give the hips a little bit of a wiggle to release the low back. Slide your hands next to the low ribs, press up into an upward facing dog, and then take it back to downward facing dog. And just shake it out in your down dog, pedaling out the feet, shifting hips from side to side, find a couple of little twists. And then coming into stillness. From here, reaching your right leg up towards the ceiling, bending into the knee and opening up the hip. If flipping your dog is in your practice and you want to take wild thing, feel free to go ahead by stepping the right foot over the top of the left. Just holding for a moment and then release back into your down dog. And we're just going to take that straight to the other side. So lifting left leg up towards the ceiling, bending the knee, maybe flipping your dog, finding a wild thing, lifting up the hips, reaching back. Just staying for a breath or two and then coming back into downward dog. Find a couple more wiggles and then lower the knees and come to sit down, extending the legs out in front of you. And we'll find an open hip Janu Shirshasana. So bending your right knee, left leg is out long, and you want to have your right heel in towards the pubic bone. From here we'll take a twist, so begin to twist to the right, taking your left hand to right knee, and then reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling, and then crossing it over to the left shoulder. Inhale to extend the arm, and then exhale, crossing it and placing it on the left shoulder. Inhale, reaching the right arm back, and one more time, crossing it to the left shoulder. Inhale, extending the arm, and this time leaving it up towards the ceiling or finding a big side bend, or reaching the right arm in the direction of the left toes. Keeping the left hand on the right knee. This is one of my favorite stretches because you can use the left hand on the right knee to add a bit more traction to really stretch into the low back, the QR muscles. Okay, gently release, and we're going to take that to the other side. So just taking a moment to switch your legs. And then find your twist in the direction of the bent knee, reaching left arm up, inhale, and then exhale, crossing, taking hold of the right shoulder. Inhale, opening up the arms, and then exhale, crossing. Once again. So just gently twisting. And then this time coming into our side bend, reaching left arm in the direction of the right toes. No need to get anywhere near there. So rather than reaching for the toes, we're reaching in a diagonal. So we're having lots of length in the side body. And then using that hand that's on the knee to traction. And release. From here, we're going to transition into a really gentle seated forward fold. So I want you to sit on your mat with your knees bent, and then take your arms and wrap them around the shins and release your head down in between the knees. Staying here or very gently shuffling the feet forward any amount, keeping the knees bent though, and just exploring and adjusting and seeing where feels good. So we're looking more for a release in the back rather than finding a hamstring stretch. Chin is really drawing in towards the chest. And bringing awareness back to breath here, really slowing it back down. Slowly use your hands to slide your way out of your fold. We're going to come to lie on our right side for a nice restorative side bend. So placing a block underneath the head, reaching your right arm out long. Legs are stacking. So it's quite similar to what we did at the beginning of class on our forearms, but this time we're lying on our side. And we're going to slide the bottom knee forward. And then reach your left arm up and overhead. Okay, slowly lift your way out. And we're going to take that straight to the other side. Just taking a moment to get yourself set up. Left arm is reaching forward this time. Placing your head on your brick and then sliding your bottom leg forward and reaching the right arm up and overhead. Slowly releasing and come to lie on your back. Nice, a little bit of a glute activation now. So coming into reclined butterfly position, soles of feet together, knees fall out wide. And then from here, pressing into the outer edges of the feet to lift up the hips and then lowering them back down. Inhale, lifting up the hips. And exhale, release. The trick is to lift up both glutes and lower them both down at the same time. So keep coming up on an in-breath and lowering on an out-breath. One more time, lifting up and then gently lowering back down. And then taking your feet to the mat. Just pausing for a moment, allowing the hips to settle. And then hugging knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a nice big squeeze. And then from here, we'll take ankle to knee. Right ankle is crossing over left knee. Staying here in reclined pigeon, or option to stack the right knee on top of the left knee for reclined Gomukhasana pose. So just take whichever variation is or version is working for you. I've got a rabbit nibbling my hair. Okay, gently unwind, placing the feet back down, and just take that to the other side. So either reclined ankle to knee or reclined Gomukhasana by stacking left knee on top of the right. And just taking hold of the shins or the ankles, wherever's accessible. Gomukhasana is one of those poses that just feels so good in my body. Alright, releasing. We're going to come into a reclined twist. Taking one of your yoga bricks, if you're using them, in between the thighs, lifting up the legs into a table, taking the arms nice and wide. And then from here, lowering the knees to the left, turning gaze to the right. Slowly lifting knees back through center, placing them down, shifting the hips over to the left, and then twisting the other way, so sending your knees to the right, gaze to the left. And just bringing your awareness back to the space of your low back as you hold in this twist. Just noticing what sensations you feel. then coming back to center, releasing your block down, and we'll make our way into final resting pose, Shavasana. As we've been working the low back, it might feel nice to take a bolster or a cushion underneath the knees. Palms down by your sides, palms face up, and just take a moment to make any final adjustments to get really comfortable. So we've worked in today's class to both activate and release the Psoas, hip flexors, the QL, Multifidus, and the glutes. Just taking a moment to mentally scan the body from head to toe. Just noticing if you perhaps feel any openness, spaciousness in those areas that we've worked today. Allowing the body to rest and seal in the benefits of today's practice. Begin to deepen your breath, arriving back in the physical body, finding movement in fingers and toes, reaching the arms up above the head for a stretch, and then bending into one knee and then the other, and rolling onto one side, pausing there for a moment. And then when you're ready, slowly pressing yourself up into a seated position. Sukhasana, easy seat, legs across. Taking some big shoulder rolls. Sitting up nice and tall. Nice, we'll take a little seated cat-cow, taking the hands to the shins. Inhaling to arch the spine and exhaling to round. Take a little twist to the left, a little twist to the right. And then bringing hands to prayer and bowing forward. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. May your low backs have a lifetime of health and happiness. I would encourage you to come back to the exercises in this video. And I hope to see you on your mat again very soon. Namaste.